Uh, Good evening, my dear student. I think we have to start third lecture that in the degree level or the degree lpec HR degree students OB subject. But my point is before start subject note or subject slides, I think we have to take some idea about our main topic. Without that mean the extra knowledge we have to collect all that to our like the general knowledge like that. But it's a but we can say it's like the general knowledge or the extra knowledge. But in other hand, it's directly engaged with the organization behavior. Okay, first I try to give some small video, I think 2 or 3 minutes. Then we can move to our main topic. I think we have to continue our other subject. That mean OB and other subject, how to engage with the OB subject. That's the subtopic and my point of view like that. My idea is like it is not a real topic, but thing is, uh, I think we finished already that psychology, sociology, and anthropology, social psychology, and political also. I think now already we know other these are the subject how to connect with the OB or the organization behavior subject. Then we can take some idea about here the organization subject. But in a when you start to study or when you're doing some work in an organization, not a behavior, that mean when you start to work some that mean like a job in a some place or like the organization or the company, we can call the organization at that time. But you can't say this is the real subject, this is the point, organizing the subject point. But indirectly has some other subject. We are calling it has some other subject contents under the OB subject, but all together. That, like when we take something in a one hand, this is OB, but like the hand, when you want to say hand, it must need that mean 5 fingers also we need. Then we can say a full hand or the okay. That when you don't have that 5 finger, we call it the disabled. Then, my dear student, like the plum and 5 hands, sorry, plum and 5 fingers, like other subjects and OB. When you want to do some work under the organization subject, you have to use your 5 fingers also. Then imagine 10 hand, that means 10 fingers, 2 hand, 2 plums. Plum mean not like here, not the eating thing. You know that plum reading or something, but it's not engaged with it, just like an example. Then you can understand how this other subject engage with organization subject. Okay. Then first I say goodbye to my video. Then I start to give you a nice video for you. I think first time you have this thing, but I have a yeah, okay. I have a special video, but first you have to listen this 1 minute. आज बस एक ही काम करना है. But okay, but this one, this video, sometimes you have, or sometimes you have some idea. I think the video is not to suit for us, or not not connect with our subject, but the organization behavior subject, one topic, the teamwork. But my dear student, the point is I appointed as the manager and CEO position. When you are the team leader, you are the team captain, you are the project leader, you are the company leader, you are the behavior, that means organization uh, executive position. Now, when you start some new project, many challenges you have to face, but you have a group, but you have to face many challenges with your group. Okay, so one example. This topic is that video topic is a really engaged with teamwork. And imagine you are the CEO and you are the manager. Then before this the video end, give you solution, give you a idea how to solve this problem, like at the very hard work. Okay, some the superior or the senior people command them, you have to do this, and then like that. Then uh, the team then before that, okay, before end of this video, you have to give you your solution, your idea, then compare with what the end of the video, what is the outcome of video, and compare with your decision and that teamwork decision. Okay, first listen it.
आज बस एक ही काम करना है, ये ईंटें जो है ना वहां से उठाकर यहाँ रखनी है बस, ठीक है?
लेकिन ठेले से लेके नहीं आने का है, अपना हाथ का इस्तेमाल करने का है, समझे? चलो क्विक क्विक,
चलो
जल्दी, शीघ्र करो, क्विक क्विक, चलो 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 जल्दी।
अब एक काम करो, ये ईंटें उठाकर वापस वहीं रख दो। आप जी सर क्या बोल रहे हैं?
हम दादा इन लोग ऐसे ही भागम भाग करेगा या कुछ समझेगा भी?
कब नहीं समझेगा, करता रहेगा। वापस वापस लेके जाओ।
एक मिनट, हम लोग कुछ तो गलत कर रहे हैं। ऐसा करो, यहाँ से लेके वहां तक एक लाइन में खड़े हो जाओ। समझ गए? लाइन फॉर्मेशन जल्दी।
समझे तुम लोग? सिर्फ ये मेहनत और कोशिश और टैलेंट से कुछ नहीं होता, काम आसान होता है टीम वर्क से। मैं तुम्हें जितनी भी ट्रेनिंग दे दूं, लेकिन जब तक तुम में एकता नहीं होगी, एक दूसरे को सपोर्ट नहीं करोगे, जीत नहीं पाओगे। जीत के लिए
Right. Okay, I stop sharing. Then I delete that video and I move to today's lesson. I think we'll check what we have to do. And okay, I think we are pretty finish. And what's organization behavior? Discipline that contribute to the organization behavior domain. Here the point. And psychology we finish. And social psychology also we finish. And sociology, anthropology. Yeah, the point, I think political point. Okay. I think we have a small, we have to take a small idea about this, the political situation. But I think I remember, I think I give you some, the idea about political science and organization behavior. But I will give you small idea. Okay. First, try to give a to chance to read this the three line with the narration. Anyway.
Political science, the study of the behavior of individuals and groups within a political environment. Impact of political science on organizational behavior. Opportunities for.
Right. Okay. Now, I think the the first minute, I explained, my dear student, the political, the manager and teamwork, and the teamwork, how to process and how to work with how to work, how to connect with the leader position, the teamwork, how to engage with the leader, the team or the leaderships like that. That is the reason I give you a few minutes to watch some the leaderships and teamwork video. Now, what I want to tell you, my dear student, I think you have another problem or the question why this the leaderships and political concept have no any the real or the direct connection, but no, it has. Okay, then my dear student, I want to tell you this. Okay, now I told you that a teamwork and a leaderships and a CEO and manager. But at that point, to take out that the manager leaderships and CEO position and the topic or the concept. Then, my dear student, imagine you are uh, now you how to work. Now you are start your job or your career in some organization, right? Or the some company or the some, okay, first first level, first brand, good company. But my dear student, I want to say, or you know that my small diagram, but I will give you the point. That I think firstly I explain the political science one concept. All of you know, I think every uh, every the nature in a political creation. That means every nature, every other human, you know, that is the nature. It's in the political nature. We call it in a simple way, all that every human or the like the animal or whatever, but not only human, everything control or the live with political space. That keep it human, every person, every animal, every creature has to must. That means not has to must is wrong. Has and must. They have to live. They must live in some political space. Here the just you have to imagine here the political space. Then everyone is here. The animal, the environment, culture, the human, and everything behind this circle. But this is not my the diagram or the picture, but you keep it in mind here the political circle, and other all everything inside that circle. Now, what I want to tell you, my dear student, here your organization. First, I told you that everything inside this political circle. Then here your company also behind that center sometimes behind that political uh, circle. But the point is, or the concept or point is not like that. my dear student, this circle, like a that the magnet, not like the magnet, we can say it's a magnet. It has some bit of, not a bit of, some power. This political circle, like the political circle, have some power. You know that when some the god or some spiritual circle, had some the myths, some stories or the film, gods, myths, the film mythology that we are calling in the literature, some that we are calling that the historical concept in the history. But don't think about that. This circle have some power. Just keep it to mind. Don't think about that mythology or that the miracle or something. So power mean this circle or this political power can change can change anyone, anything, whatever it's want. This political power can change that inside thing. That mean I told you that everything inside that political circle, then the political can change all things and human inside that everything. Yes, not the one by one, the everything. Then, my dear student, you're also here like the CEO position. Okay. Then this power is a different when you have some the close friendship with this political. That means not only the CEO position, your whole organization. But you have another problem, sir, in that our country. What is the meaning, sir? Any close relationships in the political? That mean, that political mean, that mean a ruling government, not only rule and regulations. But when you have the close connection with a ruling government, then sometimes some people have the bad effect from that the political circle. But when you have any close connection, like the not friendships, but it's like we are calling it official connection, then that power is not very bad, not any bad effect to you. Same power for everyone. But when you have any close connection or the any other shortcut methods, when you have not only you that your company, then that the political power is not bad effect to your organization, right? Now you can understand what is the real concept. Okay, then one side. I move to that the topic wise explain. Now your organization constitution or the rule and regulation, present government, that mean a marketing management or the marketing regulations, the very familiar or the very that mean parallelly two sides can work together. That mean organization, rule and regulation or the constitution, and the present government like that the foreign affairs concept or the uh, the foreign affairs, we are calling that the marketing rule and regulation, foreign exchanges like that infrastructures rule and regulations, and customer commissions, as well as that some taxes in that the foreign company and foreign export import taxing methods. This all all the points are not to very bad affect your organization rule and regulation, then no any the bad or the big harm to you. Then the present, what I want to tell you that, but it is only the present government rule and regulation. Then then now have some political changes within, like I just imagine yourself, you are in a CEO position, no any changes in your company or your organization. But the present government change within 2 or 6 or 3 or whatever month. Then they change their rule and regulation again. Imagine that the foreign currency rule and regulation, import export tax, or the tax methods or the tax evaluation concepts. And then again have some point or the problem with your organization. But you are the CEO, keep it in your mind, your my dear student. Now you know that the present government rule and regulation, and but you are the now CEO position and the manager position. You have to enough knowledge, you have to the real idea about what is the next coming, the upcoming, like we are calling the next government rule and regulation, what they want and what they try to do, but they want change as well as what they try to change. That you already know that present one is okay to your organization, but you have to enough knowledge or the enough idea about what type of changes in with the next government. Then you know that political changes now within 6 months or 3 months. Then my dear student, your company or your organization has to, we are calling that flexible. You have to change your organization some rule and regulation, comparing that rule and regulation. I will give you some small example. Sometimes you are the export import company, but you have the main we are calling that items or the main good or service. But you know that the present government know any the big taxes for your good and service, like your items. But the future government, you have to idea like the we are calling that the general knowledge. You have to idea about that. That means automatically that definitely you need that knowledge when that government, like the party, start to control or the start has a work as a the rule and sorry, the work start to their government, and their the marketing and foreign affairs and other the we call it the inland marketing rule and regulation. You have to idea about that before they change or before they control. Then you have to change your side. Okay, you have to change your side. That means your company, other rule and regulations and a tool and a service. That means a item and your organization. Uh, what I told you that export import the good and service. Then whatever changes in a future, you have the alternative option. Okay, you are the manager, you have alternative option how to, now you know you have a enough idea now that a new government ready to change their role and regulation, like the foreign that marketing or the foreign investment or the foreign currency or the foreign whatever, and the tax aside also. But you have some we are calling it's like the that the future plans. It's like a bit of like the we are calling that uh, like we call that real word is a knowledge, but entrepreneur has to that a knowledge, but it is a we call it's like the challenges, risk, the everything with the CEO hand or the superior level organization behavior controlling point need that type of risk management knowledge. Then you have to change your organization background, and the new government change their that policies, their own policies. But when you compare the new policies and your organization new good and service, then when they are whatever they change, your export and import items or the product already continue without any doubt, because you had the real idea about when this the present government change, new government come to that place, and definitely they will change their the foreign policies and the marketing policies, the tax policies and everything. Before that, you have to change comparing that policy changes point. When you don't, or when you don't have enough knowledge to the change, comparing to the political side and your company side, then you have to face big, that not a big, sometimes we are calling that bankrupt, because you have a real idea about the political changes and their policies, how to affect your organization behavior, not an organization. Sometimes this is a group level or the individual or the whole organization have some effect, because when that these days have some Iran and another country have some like the big war situation, Iraq, and I think have some the main seaside, we are calling not a seaside, we know that like the sea map, okay, uh, we are calling it the South Asian main sea line from European country. It has some the big damage or the big accident. In last few days ago, it had it like the big I think we call that ship with some we are call it like a brick, okay, like a big bridge, and unfortunately it has some bad effect to other countries economic or the good at service exchanges, because of like the barrier after that incident, or the some not incident, yeah, incident as well as that's the accident. Then this two effect. One side, sometimes the increasing our oil price. Another hand, you have to, because that the main and the one and only the system very heavy good and good transport main point is, or the main transport system is the sea roads or the sea side. Not we are not calling seaside, sea roads, like the sea map, like that the earlier in the history also have some Hindu and we are calling that like 10 years ago also had that type of the mapping that mean marketing sea roads maps, but same situation in these days, and the war also. War is sometimes effect to the fuel increases because they can't give enough fuel to the South Asian country. That like just we our word is that not a petrol and a diesel. On the other hand, that the accident problem, have some roadblock, that export import good services. That mean like the cargo services have some another problems. Then, but don't think about. I don't know what is the reason. And this is a point at some earlier say like a small words finally give the real word the final point he had the real point like this one is because everyone need to take an idea about this concept. First, anyone can understand the simple thing, then finally understand what is this a ship, then have some accident with like a big bridge and have some problem. Yeah, it's like accident, and then that the main road have accident, then it's like the road block. And finally, I mentioned that the cargo cargo exchange problem created from that incident or the accident. Then finally, you can understand how okay. Then the sea road also have this type of case because that these are like the big and like huge, huge areas. But the problem is not like that. The road also problem is not like that. Okay, now you can understand that the our country situation. I told you that the present government and a new government changes and policy changes, how to affect the organization, individual group or the whole organization, as well as in like the other country political situation, like I told you that Iran-Iraq war situation and another the cargo problem, cargo right line problem, then how to affect to our yes imagine you are in that organization, your organization. I think you have enough idea about now the political science. But I told you, I think first day I explained that political science far different of political. But you have to keep it to your mind, my dear student. Political science far different of the political. That mean political science have the many concepts. Okay, but written constitution in written or the like that like a provincial system that have some another the rule and regulations and the government structure, the parliament structures and everything in a political science, but political only like the political changes. It is a different, but you have to keep it your mind. These are all political science concept. Engage with organization, but keep it to your mind. Very effect one is political, but the political is one or the small point of politicals, whole political, like the huge, that mean a huge concept. But political is a one concept of that huge, like the subtopic like that. Right. I think enough to take. You have a enough idea to that, but I think now I told you, my dear student, CEO and the manager has to take this decision, like the managerial skills. Okay. Then, my dear student, you keep it your mind. You have to develop your managerial skill. I give you a small video before I start a new topic, organization, that opportunity of the OB, that mean the tech, yeah, here. Then I finish this one and the definition of OB. I think here the point I finished last day, but I think I add some, I spent another 30 minutes to discuss with this the topic. And I like to give you that video. Management skill, 10 management skill.
Hi, Welcome to education.
You are going to learn management skills.
Right, I stop this one. Okay, then I move to sorry, I think we have to that one. Okay. Okay. I think we have to this one is I think already finished, but opportunities for OB. The point is I'm not to explain more because we can we have a time enough time to explain that. Now I move to here the point definition of OB, that mean organization. But we have that Raman and author, as well as another one and another one. The few lines or the few point mean definitions. Okay, then we can call like a theory, but just listen it, then compare it. I think the first day that my one student joined with me to this class, the degree class, and here she explained and she answered to the good, the real and correct answer he had to my question. The smallest organization in the world, that everyone well known that the family. And now you know that a group, individual group, or the organization concept or the point or the section, when we start to investigate or the do some research or the start to some take an idea or the learning to the three concept, we call it's the point or the way or the process of organization behavior is the small and the real idea about organization behavior. But it's a we have to keep it to mind like the we are calling that the definitions, or we just enough one or two definition enough to this level. But this level mean your level, but you have to follow or you have to collect many definitions and comparing definition, first one and second one and my definition and your one. And but my point is, my dear student, that comparing me now this one, this definition is 1998. Imagine now you have a new definition. Then you have to compare with your new definition and the what you have. That means my one and a new one. Then check it. What are the new point, the new topics, the new concept in that definition? Okay. Then you can understand, my dear student, this generation changes and the new millennium, we can call that the 21st century. Organization behavior definition and earlier definition. Then you have to, that the real word is close reading. You have to, first you have to compare these two definition, and you have to read that definition closely. Closely mean not like zoom out and zoom in. Closely mean why that earlier period, like 1998, that Robinson one, why he explained or the why he explained or why he defined this definition like this, because that mean a real idea is close reading. I mean you have to take a real understand about the period, social, economical, political background and organization behavior definition and changes. Okay. Then new 21st century new definition, you have to compare it and you have to give your real idea about, or you have to take real idea about that definition. What is the reason this type of definition join or the create in this period or this era? Then, my dear student, you can understand organization behavior subject field change in process. 1998 organization behavior subject is like this. Now, and the 21st century organization behavior subjects like this. Okay, right. One by one, we have to start.
Definition of OB. OB is a field of study that investigates the impact that individuals, group and structure have on behavior within organization for the purpose of applying knowledge towards improving an organization effectiveness. Robbins 1998. Rahman and Arthur 1999.
Okay, I will stop here.
O-
Again, I give you a chance to listen, my dear student.
OB is a field of study that investigates the impact that individuals, group and structure have on behavior within organization for the purpose of applying knowledge towards improving an organization effectiveness.
Robinson. I
Robbins 9.
think this is the definition what I told you earlier, because you know that the investigate the impact that individual, group and a structure have a behavior with an organization for the purpose of applying knowledge toward the improving an organization effectiveness. But then, my dear student, you know that earlier we discussed this point. 1998 organization behavior definition like this. Here the another year.
Rahman and Arthur 1999. OB is branch of the social sciences that seeks to build theories that can be applied to predicting, understanding and controlling behaviors in organizations.
Sorry.
Greenberg and Buren have defined.
Sorry. Here the point Raman or the Raman and Arthur 1999. OB is a branch of social science. Now I told you that earlier, my dear student, you have to when you have some the definition, I told you, you have to read it closely. That means close reading. Now social science subject engage with this topic. That topic mean this definition. Earlier, that normally and directly that Robinson define investigate group, individual or organization concept. Then 1999, this organization is a branch of the social science. Then not only that, my dear student, but the point is now the social science, but no any predictions, no, because social science mean the human, our behaviors, our activities inside that mean when we divide our social science subject topic wise, it has all topics, sorry, all topics engage with the human or the social behaviors. Then, my dear student, when you are predict something, That means you predict engage with the human behavior changes, future human behavior changes. Can you understand what I say, my dear student? Now, social science subject, all topic like the subtopic engage with, or the topic subtopics, the real background is how to change, or how they are change the human behavior or activity or their custom and rules or whatever. Then this every concept, every subtopic engage with human activities and human behaviors. Then, my dear student, organization behavior subject also under the social science subject mean like when you are predict something, okay, when you are predict something, it also engage with your organization behavior. That mean under the organization behavior subject, imagine you are in the CEO and manager in an organization. Now, under the your organization, the future plans or the future changes you are predicting. When we give the big bulk for the transport side in the 5-year plan or 1-year plan, is not enough to the transport cost. It's not enough to sometimes advertising. But now you can predict it like a social science. Now, organization subject also under the social science subject. Then inside the organization, you have to predict it. Predict it mean organization have some concept, 1-year, 2-year, 5-year plans. Then you have to real understand about that prediction and a topic section and human or the client or any that your officers and everything. You have a real understand. You have to need real understand about that. Then you can predict it. That mean when you predict it mean, in the other hand, the point is you control other side also. I will give you a small example, my dear student. Now, imagine now you have 100 bucks. Just imagine 100 coins. Then 50% for the transport, 25% for advertising, another 25% for stores. But you predict, no, not enough. The advertising 25% not enough. We have to reduce 5 from the transport and add to advertising. That means your prediction mean you control that the transport section. That means organization behavior, transport section, you control. Then, my dear student, this subject, the organization behavior subject is, one hand we can predict because of it is an inner social science subject, as well as it's controlling organization behavior because of prediction. But how you prediction, you have enough understand the future changes and your organization. Can you understand what I say? You have some idea about real idea about your organization, as well as you have enough idea to the future changes. Then you are predict it and you take some decision because of organization behavior subject under the social science stream or the social science subject. So like a small theory, but it has a big concept. Right. I move the next one. It is in the new millennium one. Okay, Greenberg and Barron. Okay, you listen it.
Greenberg and Barron have defined organizational behavior as a multidisciplinary field that seeks knowledge of behavior in organizational settings by systematically studying individual, group and organizational processes. 2003.
Right. My dear student, now after the 99 memo, that means more than 4 years ago, and a new millennium. Now, earlier, the Greenberg and Barron, earlier the point is social science. Okay, social science. But now, multidisciplinary. I told you that a close reading. Okay. Then, my dear student, you have to keep it to your mind, this concept. Okay. Here, the social science, and this one is multidisciplinary. But keep it to your mind. This concept also systematically studying individual, group, and organizational process. What we had in a 1998 here, individual, group, and structure. Same one in a new millennium, but systematically inside multi-subject or the multi areas. That means you can understand now in a that OB subject. When you study OB subject, you have to cover multi-subject or you have to the multidisciplinary subject knowledge, behavior, organization behavior, and one side you have to keep it to your that multidisciplinary or the multi that mean the many subject areas and knowledge, as well as organization behavior subject. After that, systematically you have to study it individual, group, and organizational process. Now I think you can understand this concept, but I think okay, now the time is a good time to listen another video because now okay, 1 minute. I think I will give you some small video because okay, this one is the point is now you can understand. You keep it your mind. You have to plan your behavior. Okay. Now the individual, group, and organization systematically you have to study that the organizational behavior process. Now that organizational behavior. Imagine when you have the chance to study it. This one is like a individually, not a group wise. Individually, you have to study uh, this behavior change the systematically. That means systematically you have to study this individual person changes. Then, my dear student, listen this video within I think of within 4 minutes. Try to take idea about this. Okay, 1 minute.
Why do we do what we do or act the way we act? Let's start with an example. Say you want to buy a new smartphone. What exactly influences this decision? You may start reading about available phones out there and form an opinion about which one is best for you. You may talk to friends and see what they think about the phones currently on the market. You may go to a store and test a few or get some advice from a sales guy. You may even do all of this. And with everything that's available to you at some stage, you make a decision and buy one. A good theory that explains and predicts how such behaviors form is called the theory of planned behavior. It's built out of a number of constructs. The first one is the attitude towards the act or behavior. That's an individual's belief if a certain behavior or act makes a positive or negative contribution to that person's life. In the smartphone example, it means that you either believe that buying a certain phone makes sense for you or not, or which phone makes the most sense for you. A second construct is called subjective norm. This construct focuses on everything around the individual. In other words, his or her social network, cultural norms, group beliefs, and so on. Back to the smartphone example. You will already have an opinion or form a belief as to what others think about you having that phone or not having it. And that belief again influences your decision. A third construct is called perceived behavioral control. And what this construct actually expresses is a person's belief on how easy or hard it is to display a certain behavior or act in a certain way. Again, in the smartphone case, you might pick up a few of them in a store and form an opinion on how easy or hard it is for you to handle each one. What the theory now actually predicts is that a positive attitude towards the act or behavior, favorable social norms, and a high level of perceived behavioral control are the best predictors for forming a behavioral intention and in turn lead to a displayed behavior or act. In other words, it predicts that if you think a certain smartphone is a good idea, and you believe everyone else thinks it's a good idea, and you believe you can actually handle it, you'll get that phone. If one of those constructs is unfavorable, so if you think it doesn't make much sense for you to get a particular phone, or you think others don't think it's a good idea, or you're going to be right out of your comfort zone handling it, you're much less likely to get that particular phone. And the likelihood decreases if 2 or even 3 out of these constructs are unfavorable. Planned behavior is up to today one of the best predictors and theories used in marketing. If we look into the tech world, we're seeing examples everywhere. Information is abundant for us to form our opinions, and infomercials are everywhere. We see ratings, reviews, and discussions about every product and service out there, and we're being told that people who buy what we are about to buy are also buying this other thing. And finally, we're prompted everywhere to test almost every web platform or service out there before we subscribe to see if we can actually handle it, and also if it makes sense for us. All of this in combination contributes to us making a decision, and modern marketing needs to master all these avenues to successfully place a service or product to digital natives spending their time on the internet.
Okay, I stop that and again I move to our point. I think you have to take some idea about this, the behavior changes. Okay, then I think some point is here, but you have to listen it very carefully. But the final one, but it has like the big thing within 3 slides, but listen it carefully.
OB is the systematic study and careful application of knowledge about how people as individuals and as groups act within organizations. It strives to identify the ways in which people can act more effectively. Basically, we all know how to study the behavior of people. But that is based on intuition. The study of organizational behavior helps us to replace the intuition-based study with a systematic study. The concepts and theories of OB have been developed through scientific researches. The cause and effect relationship among the variables have been empirical tested before arriving at conclusions. The study of OB helps us to know ourselves and others with whom we have to deal. Since we are a part of an organization and we will continue to be a part of various organizations, we should study OB. The knowledge of OB helps us to adopt a systematic and scientific approach. Organizations are social arrangement in which people strive to achieve control over resources in order to produce goods and services efficiently. Now, if the people don't function effectively, the very basic organizational goal of survival will be at stake. The proper functioning of the people at work can only be ensured through apt understanding, prediction, and control of their behavior. Since all that happens in organizations is ultimately traceable to human action, those who manage organizations need to take account of those factors that affect human behavior. Not, however, to manipulate humans, but to better understand their behavior. Rawlinson, 2005. Finally, the proper knowledge of organizational behavior can help a person to build a career in management.
I think you have to listen like a small narration from this, because the point is this subject, the main point is we all know how to study the behavior of people, but that is a base of institution. The study of organization behavior help us to replace the is here the point. I will give you a chance.
Basically, we all know how to study the behavior of people. But that is based on intuition. The study of organizational behavior helps us to replace the intuition-based study with a systematic study. The concepts and theories of
Okay, this institution. Then one side organization behavior and other side behavior of people. Organization behavior of people. Okay, now I think you can understand this concept very easily. The main concept is organization behavior. Organization behavior mean behavior of people, but earlier we divide under the three category: individual, group, and organization, like the whole organization. Now, what is the point we have to take out? The behavior of people, the one point, study the behavior of people. You have to study. As well as the study of organization behavior. I'll take out the line from two sentences, but don't keep it your mind in the different way. Then, my dear student, study the behavior of people, study organization behavior, but how? Systematic study. Then organization behavior, first point is study the behavior of people as well as study organizational behavior. The comparing these two concepts systematically, applying behavior of people, behavior of organization, then we are in the real foundation of organization behavior subject. You can do it is a scientifically, You can take out is the effective relationships, or the very what mean that mean like a group wise individual organization, the relationship. But keep it to your mind this three concept. We have to study the people behavior mean organization behavior, but inside the organization people behavior mean we have to study, or we are studying organization behavior, but we have to study it systematical way. That's enough, my dear student, to take the real idea about the definition of organization. Right. I think I will give you one chance to listen it. And 1 minute, I will quickly I join with again here. I want to check. I have another nice video. Okay. Uh, 1 minute, I'll check and join with you. It has some. Okay. Yes, I have another 5 minutes more. Uh, First, you listen this, my dear student, up to here. Then I will show you that video.
OB is the systematic study and careful application of knowledge about how people as individuals and as groups act within organizations. It strives to identify the ways in which people can act more effectively. Basically, we all know how to study the behavior of people. But that is based on intuition. The study of organizational behavior helps us to replace the intuition-based study with a systematic study. The concepts and theories of OB have been developed through scientific researches. The cause and effect relationship among the variables have been empirical tested before arriving at conclusions. The study of OB helps us to know ourselves and others with whom we have to deal. Since we are a part of an organization and we will continue to be a part of various organizations, we should study OB. The knowledge of OB helps us to adopt a systematic and scientific approach. Organizations are social arrangement in which people strive to achieve control over resources in order to produce goods and services efficiently. Now, if the people don't function effectively, the very basic organizational goal of survival will be at stake. The proper functioning of the people at work can only be ensured through apt understanding, prediction, and control of their behavior. Since all that happens in organizations is ultimately traceable to human action, those who manage organizations need to take account of those factors that affect human behavior. Not, however, to manipulate humans, but to better understand their behavior. Rawlinson, 2005. Finally, the proper knowledge of organizational behavior can help a person to build a career in management.
Right, I stop share and start the new video. Can you change your people? Okay, the earlier one is the theory of plan to behavior. This one, can you change people? I think, sorry, 5 minutes more. Listen it, my dear student, very, in 5 minutes you can take idea. After that, we have to start the new lesson. Okay, then think individually how can I change people? The group wise, how can I change people? And institution or the organization wise, how I change people. Okay, here the time to listen. 1 minute.
Can people change? The question may sound somewhat abstract and disinterested, as if one were asking for a friend or for the universe, but it's likely to be a good deal more personally and painfully motivated than that. We ask typically and acutely when we're in a relationship with someone who's inflicting a great deal of pain on us, someone who's refusing to open their hearts or can never stop lying, someone who's aggressive or detached, someone who's harming themselves or managing to devastate us. We ask too because the one immediately obvious response to frustration isn't in this case open to us. We're not able to simply get up and go. We're too emotionally or practically invested to give up. Something roots us to the spot. And so, with the example of one troublesome human in mind, we start to wander outwards about human nature in general, what it might be made of, and how malleable it could turn out to be. One thing is likely already to be evident to us. Even if people can change, they certainly don't change easily. Maybe they flare up every time we raise an issue and accuse us of being cruel or dogmatic. Maybe they break down late at night and admit they have a problem, but by morning vehemently deny that there could ever be anything amiss. Maybe they say, yes, they get it now, but they don't ever deploy understanding where it really matters. We can at best conclude that by the time we've had to raise the question of change in our minds, someone around us has managed not to change, either very straightforwardly or very gracefully. We might ask a prior question. Is it even okay to want someone to change? The implication from those who generate trouble for us is most often an indignant no. Love me for who I am is their mantra. But, considered more imaginatively, only a perfect human would ever deny that they might need to grow a little in order more richly to deserve the love of another. For the rest of us, all moderately well-meaning and halfway decent requests for change should be heard with goodwill and in certain cases acted upon with immense seriousness. Those who bristle at the suggestion that they might need to change are, paradoxically, giving off the clearest evidence that they may be in grave need of inner evolution. Why might change be so hard? It isn't as if the change-resistant person is merely unsure what's amiss and will manage to alter course once an issue is pointed out to them, as someone might if their attention were drawn to a strand of spinach in their teeth. The refusal to change is more tenacious and willed than this. A person's entire character may be structured around an active aspiration not to know and not to feel particular things. The possibility of insight will be aggressively warded off through drink, compulsive work routines, or offended irritation with all those who attempt to spark it. In other words, the unchanging person doesn't only lack knowledge, they are vigorously committed to not acquiring it. And they resist it because they're fleeing from something extraordinarily painful in their past that they were originally too weak or helpless to face and still haven't found the wherewithal to confront. One isn't so much dealing with an unchanging person as first and foremost with a traumatized one. Part of the problem when one is on the outside is realizing what one's up against. The lack of change can seem so frustrating because one can't apprehend why it should be so hard. Couldn't they simply move an inch or two in the right direction? But if we considered at that moment the full scale of what this person once faced and the conditions in which their mind was formed, and certain of its doors bolted shut, we might be more realistic and more compassionate. Couldn't they just would no longer quite make sense. At the same time, very importantly, we might not stick around as long as we often do. We should at this juncture perhaps ask ourselves a question that may feel at once unfair and rather tough. Given how clear the evidence is of a lack of change in a certain person, and hence of a lack of realistic hope that our needs are going to be met anytime soon, why are we still here? Why are we trying to open a door that can't open, and returning to a recurring frustration and hoping for a different result? What broken part of us can't leave a lack of fulfillment alone? What bit of our story is being reenacted in a drama of continuously dashed hopes? And if we're talking of change, might we one day change into characters who don't sit around waiting without end for other people to change? Might we become better at sifting through options and allowing through only those people who can already meet the lion's share of our needs? In addition, might we become better at deploying a dash of life-sustaining ruthlessness in order sometimes to leave those who frustrate and rebuff us? We may need to rebuild our minds in order, with time, to change into people who don't wander for too long if and when people might change.
Right.
Visit our shop.
Okay, I will stop it. Right. Now, my dear student, the point is, now we finish the introduction topic or the lecture or that subject content. Now, we have to, 1 minute, we have to start a new topic, but I have to show you something. That's the reason, the big point and a big problem. That mean, okay, here the point, now you have it's not a big case. Okay. First, I show you, my dear student, then very easy to start the new one. Here, the point, my dear student, introduction, organization, behavior, and opportunity for managers in using OB concept. You already finished, my dear, through this one. Now we have to start the new topic, personality. Okay, then we have to start that personality topic, right? But the new topic, and it has some identify factors determine in individual personality, describe the Myers-Briggs type indicator personality framework MBTI. MBTI mean you can identify the key traits in a big 5 personality model, definite emotion from the mood, explain and related theories. Right here, our second topic, that means syllabus. Right. The point is, my dear student, okay, the personality. Okay, the personality, our main topic. Then give me the bit of a minute to the clear that means started. 1 minute more. Then sorry. Then the new topic we have to start. Okay. Then, my dear student, sorry, the desktop. Right. My point is, before we start, I think I want to give you another small 2 videos. Okay, I think you have a problem. What is the reason this give you this many videos? Okay. Okay, that one is okay, but this one, the topic is, sorry, the 7 habits of highly effective people. Okay, I will give you that only 2 videos. This one, sorry, this one mean the 7 habits of highly effective people. Right. Now, you know that the last point, managerial skill. Okay, only you have a 6 minutes or another 6 minutes. After that, we have to start with the new topic. But my dear manager and my dear CEOs, you have to listen this, how to effect. Okay, because the next one is a personality, Then we can discuss the very simple and easy, like the next step, very easy to understand. Now you have a 7 steps. Effect. That means another managerial skills. Okay, listen this one, my dear student. Then I will again join with you after 6 minutes. I will give you the second part of this video. Then 7 habits of highly effective people. Here the point, here the video. Then listen it, my dear student. I will increase this volume also. Then we can start new topic.
I remember my grandma's favorite story was about how everything costs 2 cents when she was young. But now, everything constantly got more expensive. And it was all because of the government. These uneducated pigs didn't know how to control prices. And when I was privileged enough to hear the story, her complaining would last for hours and hours. And that's exactly what reactive people do. They always focus on the things that they cannot control. It's not possible that a concept like inflation would exist. And if it did, it's impossible that they wouldn't know about it. On the other hand, proactive people realize, look, even if my complaining were completely objective, it doesn't help me. So I'm going to focus on what I can control. If a proactive person owns a business where he sells a product, instead of focusing on how people these days don't appreciate good products anymore and how the government has horrible regulations, he focuses on how can I improve my product so my customers can't live without it. Do you realize how much responsibility, how much dedication, how much hard work comes along with asking that question? And what do you think our effort minimizing brain is going to pick as default? And that is exactly why most people focus on the things that they cannot control rather than focusing on the things that they can. Habit number 1 is be proactive. Now, imagine you're at a funeral, but this one's different from all the funerals you've ever been to. You're standing over the casket and you see yourself. What do you have to say about yourself? This is one of the most powerful questions you could ask. Are you doing the things in your life which are aligned with what you want to be able to say? Do you want to say that you are a good spouse? If that's the case, how does coming home and instantly being negative towards your spouse affect that? Do you want to be remembered as a person who added value to society? If that's the case, are you doing the things that will allow you to say that, or are you scared of failure and choose comfortable mediocrity instead? Almost every one of us will have to readjust how we live when we ask this question. Habit number 2 is begin with the end in mind. Now, if I were to ask you, what are the most important things to you? The most common answers I would get would be either your well-being or your relationships, your family, your spouse, your children. You would never ever say organizing papers or watching TV. But how many of us spend more time organizing papers and watching TV than planning our nutrition and going to the gym or cultivating a healthy family environment? There's a horrible disconnect between what we say and how we actually allocate our time. Habit number 3 is put first things first. Now, imagine you're an author and I'm an author, and we both write interesting books, and we both have access to an audience of about 100,000 people. I read your book and I love it, so I decide to share it with my audience, and as a result, you now have thousands of people buying your book and reading your ideas. You see this and think, who is this guy? Let me take a look at his book. You start reading my book and think I have ideas that are valuable, so you decide to share it with your audience. And as a result, I now have thousands of people buying my book and reading my ideas. Notice how different this is from my creating a little creepy Amazon account, finding your book and leaving a bad review, hoping that this will deter a few people from buying your book, which will in turn somehow get them to buy my book. Habit number 4 is think win-win. Stop thinking of everything as a zero-sum game. For you to win, another person does not have to lose. Something I want my viewers to do is to subscribe to my channel. But you will never hear me say, well, I worked really hard, guys. I dedicated so many hours to this. Please subscribe. Look, who cares if I worked hard? Who cares if I've spent days creating this video? The real questions are, does it offer value to you? And why should you dedicate your time to subscribing when you could be doing anything else that you want? Habit number 5 is something that I try to use every single day with every interaction that I have and with every comment that I reply to, and it is this: seek first to understand, then to be understood. Now, imagine there are 2 people and a tree with 5 apples on it. They're both too short to reach the apples, but if one of them sits on the other's shoulders, he can reach all 5 of the apples. This is called synergy. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Now, I'll be the first one to admit that you can't achieve this with everyone, but you should always be looking for opportunities to create synergy. With every synergistic opportunity you create, you can gather many more apples than you otherwise would by yourself. Habit number 6 is synergize. A man has been trying to cut down a tree for hours, and after a while his neighbor can't take it anymore, goes over and says, "You know, if you sharpen the saw, you'll be able to cut it down faster." And the man replies, "But sharpening the saw is going to take time." Now, we might laugh at this story, but we do the same thing all the time. We can't find 30 minutes a day, 4 times a week to go to the gym. Our health deteriorates to a point where we're physically incapable of being effective. We can't read a book for 15 minutes a day and mentally stimulate ourselves. No, these things take too much time. And then we have the audacity to ask for little tips and tricks on how to be effective. It's like telling your engineer, "Don't worry about the foundation, where can we get the magic bricks that will float in the air?" Habit number 7 is sharpen the saw. And these are the 7 habits of highly effective people by Stephen Covey.
I will give you the, I will add this, the second video. Then yeah, the second one. After that, very
All right, guys, welcome to part 2 of the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. If you haven't watched the first video, go ahead and click on the link in the description so you can see the first 3 habits. In the first 3 habits, you move from being a dependent to an independent person by being proactive, beginning with the end in mind, and putting first things first. The first 3 habits are about self-mastery. They help you become more effective as an individual by developing inner strength, character, purpose, and values. The next 3 habits that I'm going to cover in this video move you from being independent to being interdependent. Again, interdependence is the highest level of what Stephen Covey calls the maturity continuum. The maturity continuum consists of 3 levels: dependence, independence, and interdependence. Dependence is like the relationship between a child and a mother, or even sometimes between a boss and an employee. It's the attitude of you. To move from dependence to independence, you have to nail the first 3 habits. Again, be proactive, begin with the end in mind, and put first things first. This is the attitude of I. And then you have the next level, which is interdependence. This is where you're thinking like a team, you know, a family and a teamwork mentality. We accomplish what we want together. It's the attitude of we. We can combine our different talents and our abilities to make something even greater. Habits 4 through 6 help you deal with people, teach you how to read the needs, and empathize and cooperate with people. They help you build strong relationships. Habit 4 is think win-win. There's 6 types of personal and business relationships. There's lose-win and win-lose, which is the typical mentality for most. In order for me to win, you have to lose. This is the mindset of someone is going to get the good end of the deal and someone is going to get screwed. This is a poor mindset to have, but people live with this outlook because most people have a scarcity mindset. They have a lack of abundance mindset. There's also the lose-lose relationship, which of course is no good for anybody. And I have a quick example for this one. I had a friend who got divorced and he was about to retire from the military. Instead of retiring and getting a pension, which half of it would go to his wife, he got out at 19 years and got no pension. In this case, they both lost out. Then you have the win, and this is not really a relationship at all. This is you just getting what you want and not providing value to anyone else, and it's pretty much just selfish. Next, there is no deal. This one's pretty much neutral. If you can't come to a deal where you both benefit, then there's no deal. And then we come to the best type of relationship, which is a win-win. We want to look for win-win relationships. We want to search for mutual benefit, and we need to have the mindset that there's plenty out there. There's abundance. We can share knowledge, we can gain, we can profit together. We don't need to crush each other out. we can work together instead. Life isn't a zero-sum game, so look at every situation with a win-win mentality. A quick example of a win-win is, hey, I buy a book for $20 and I get all this insight and knowledge, and the author also benefits by getting $20. So again, seek win-win relationships. If it's not going to be mutually beneficial, then default to no deal. Habit 5 is seek first to understand, then to be understood. Stephen tells a great story here. Stephen and his son have a talk, and Stephen can't get through to his son about some issue they're having. He then goes to a friend for advice. He tells a friend, I just can't understand my son sometimes. He won't listen to me. The friend says, hold on a second. Let me get this straight. You can't understand your son because he won't listen to you. I thought that to understand someone, you have to listen to them. That's a great point, isn't it? For us to understand someone, we have to listen to them, not the other way around. It's common sense really, but most of the time this is how our relationships play out. We often get mad at people because they don't think the way we think. We all see the world differently. We all see the world through our own perceptions and opinions based on our own experiences. You can't understand someone unless you really listen to them. Try to understand their perspective first. Try to understand how they're feeling and why. This is called empathic listening. This is the highest level of listening, the others being ignoring, pretending to listen, selective hearing, and attentive listening. None of those are very effective, but most of us listen using one of these levels. Most people don't listen with the intent to understand. We listen with the intent to reply before the other person even finishes. So before you judge, before you take action, before you contribute, just listen. So if your wife says, I hate my job, instead of providing advice or repeating what she said, which is a typical response, you rephrase the content and reflect the feeling and say something like, you're not enjoying your job and you're feeling upset about it. This gets you both on the same side of the table. You're listening with the intent to understand intellectually and emotionally, and then you can move forward to repair the situation. The time to be understood is when the conversation leads to logic and advice is requested. When you go down this path, maybe she'll eventually respond with, should I look for another job? This is when you can seek to be understood. This is when you can provide your advice. But if it goes back to an emotional level, then you listen again empathetically until logic is brought back. This creates an atmosphere of caring. Habit 6 is synergy. The idea behind this is that different people bring different opinions, ideas, perspectives, and strengths to the table. Instead of simply tolerating or accepting these differences, we should celebrate them. We should value these differences. This is what any good CEO does. They get their different subject matter experts and get their input to come up with the best solution. Another way to think of synergy is when you put two pieces of wood together. One piece of wood by itself isn't that strong, but when you put two together, the overall strength increases by more than 2 times. With synergy, 1 plus 1 can equal 3, 10, or 100. Think of how individual units can work together to create something even bigger. Another example is the human body. There are many individual parts that are amazing in their own right, but all the parts together create something amazing. So again, habits 4 through 6 deal with relationships. These 3 habits can help you have effective and interdependent relationships with others. The last habit, habit 7, is to sharpen the saw. Let's say you see a guy cutting down a tree with a dull saw. You say, hey, why don't you sharpen that thing? It's going to take 6 hours at this rate. He says, I don't have time to sharpen it, I have to cut this tree down. You explain, if you spend 1 hour sharpening that saw, it'll only take you 3 hours to cut down the tree. You don't have time not to sharpen the saw. This example can be applied to our lives on many different planes. We are the instruments, and we have to regularly sharpen 4 areas, and these areas fall into quadrant 2 activities. Physical, find the importance of it. Again, it's not urgent, but it's important. You can either exercise and feel good now, or pay for it in 30 years when you're in a hospital with all kinds of physical ailments that you could have avoided. The next area is spiritual. Ask yourself, contemplate, who am I? Where am I going? Meditate, prayer, music, art, and so on. The next one is cognitive health. Continue to learn, to explore, to expand, educate yourself, immerse yourself in another culture, teach others. And the 4th one is social health. This is relationships, living interdependently, spending time with family and friends. With all 4 of these areas, think continuous improvement. We must continually renew ourselves, and the best way to unleash your future potential is by investing. Invest in yourself. Strive for continuous learning and improvement. Doing so renews each of the other habits as well. This habit keeps you fresh so you can handle the other 6 habits. Make these 7 habits a part of your life. Don't just attempt to understand them intellectually, try to live them. Apply these habits and teach them to others, because the best way to learn is by teaching it to someone else. This is a lifelong process that requires patience. It's not a quick fix, it won't happen overnight, and it will be a challenge. As you continue down the path, you'll hit obstacles, and you'll fall back a time or two, but this is necessary. Old habits will pull you down, but don't give up.
Okay, don't give up. Right. Now, my dear student, we have to start our new topic. Okay. Sorry. Personality. Here the what you saw in that our syllabus definition of personality, determinants of personality, personality trait of management, Myers-Briggs type indicator, right? Here now you have to take idea about what is or what determines your personality. Now, the problem is the personality, the person that here the word when we divide like my nice diagram, you can see the person is here. That nationality, that mean we can say the any you know that many words there, that personality, nationality, like that. Okay, mentality, then person that we call person and nality, person who have some style or the system. This is not a proper definition, but you keep it to your mind, my dear, so easily to understand after that. Okay, then person who have some style, person woven style. What is a person woven style mean? Person behavior style, we can say personality. Person style or person style mean behavior style, we can call personality. Now you have an idea. Now I have some my own style. It's not engaged with, or it's not a compare with others. It's my own style. But it's your imagination, like your dream. I have my own style. That is my personal, like the interest. Like that. But point is, my dear student, you think my style is my own one, right? My behavior style is my own one, like my finger, like a fingerprint. So your idea, so your dream, so your concept, so your belief. But can you please imagine yourself? Is it your own thing? When you have your own personal or your own style, that means a new innovative things. New innovative or the new style. like a new theory. Okay, again I explain it. Now I told you the person style or the person own behavior style, we can say it's a personality. But you and me, not only you, my side also, you and me, imagine and dream. This is my style, one and only. This is style only for me. I am like the name, like the fingerprint. It's a unique one. It's a dream, another real one. Okay, but sometimes, okay, it's a unique one. But thing is, your style or your behavior style, you know that every concept or everything, all of you know, have some background. Then this personality subject also, but like a subject personality concept, the person style also, behavior style also have some background effect. Okay, your personal behavior pattern have some background. That is a reason you behave that. Again, I explain. Now I told you, you have your own behavior style. But you and me, both of them, idea and belief is this is my own behavior style. Okay. But when we start to think a bit of deep, why I am behave like this, it has some root or the foundation. Okay. Then we have to find, or first we have to understand what are the main point or background or foundation of personality. Okay. But earlier we believe my style is my own style is a unique one and only. But my dear student, this personality behavior pattern change each and every one. So like a face. Sometimes someone can copy another personality because of benefit, because of following interest, because of some personal needs, personal benefit, or the center attentions. So many concept engage with that one. But first point, first topic, keep it to your mind, my dear student. We have a personality. Earlier, we don't know what is the reason I behave or my personality develop or create or produce like this. Now you know it has some another factors, another background. Now, my dear student, first we have to identify what are the factors, what are the background of personality. Sometimes we can call determines or any topic wise concept. But first we have to take idea about what are the factors, what are the determinants of our personality. Okay. Then, my dear student, I will erase this one. I think it's a bit of difficult or the thing. Then, say goodbye here and listen it.
What determines your personality? Is your personality inherited from your family or something that evolved over the years as you went through many mental changes and events that transformed you? Psychologists say that our personality is mainly the result of four main determinants: physical, biological heredity, social, the community you grew up in and your role in the community, and psychological, your behavior, feelings, and inner thought patterns. And intellectual, your values and beliefs. These determinants of personality further include various cultural, situational, and environmental factors that you may encounter in life. Let's further understand the meaning of personality, its types, criteria, characteristics, temperament, cognition, and more. Determinants of personality. There are four main factors that determine personality. Biological/physical determinants, hereditary and physical characteristics, social determinants, sociological aspects related to the community and his/her role in the community, psychological determinants, a person's behavior, feelings, emotions, thought patterns and complexes, intellectual criteria, values, humor, morality, etc. Other determinants of personality include cultural, situational, environmental factors, etc. Physical determinants of personality.
Okay, I'll stop here. Then, my dear student, you can, I highlight that point-wise the place, but you have some idea about, sorry, is here the point. Then, my dear student, here the point. First one is like just keep it to your mind the biological. Whatever psychologist or anyone mentioned, the biological or the physical. That one is not necessary to the difficult one, but the heredity also we can use it. Second one, the social, right? The third one, psychological, right? Now, you have three topics or the three places and three determinants. These determinants of personality further include various culture, situational, and environment factors that you may encounter in life. Let's further understand that meaning of the personality is a type of criteria, characteristic, temperament, cognition, and more. Now, my dear student, the other factors also, there are other determinants also. That one is here, I will mention. Here, okay. Here the point by point. But keep it to your mind that the biological one here, that means physical characteristic. Social, that the social determines sociological aspect related to community, his or her role in community. We can discuss later deeply. Here the psychological one. Person behavior, feeling, emotion, thought patterns, and complex. Intellectual criteria, value, humor, morality, etc. Other determinants of personality include culture, situation, environment, factors, etc. Sorry for mispronounced. Factors, etc. Then, before I start or before I move this concept, my dear student, you keep it your mind. This, just you imagine here the first one, second one, third one, fourth one, and fifth one. But here, just imagine my nice the art, like fine art professor's art like that. But anyway, the art, but keep it to your mind, my dear student. Just imagine that physical characteristics. The second one, the social one here. But imagine sometimes this third one engage with have some effect first one. Okay, third one has effect with first one. First one have some effect with the second one. Okay, I will give you some small idea. Now, the Mahendra's birthplace or the birth family, village family, and the family background, farming family, the main job or the main role, the farming, all family members, the main job, like a farmer. Then food and some like in our country, like the 3 meals that Mahendra can eat rice. And same the second sub curry, sometimes it's also the higher carbohydrate or the protein energy because of farming environment. Sometimes the meat or fish or meat, because that rice and curry need some extra the curries, that. Then Mahendra's the physical or the biological behavior or the character or the appearance, bit of fat, because it is not only the biological or the scientific the process. It has some effect from that that person social and family background, as well as the mind was automatically feel to eat 3 meals rice and curry because of the Mahendra's family background. Then automatically Mahendra's physical appearance is not a separate one. That concept or the title or the topic or the any determines change with other 2 topics. Change with mean change under the other 2 topics. Mahendra has some feel. This is the interest or the taste. The psychological determines. The Mahendra need good lunch, good breakfast, good dinner, but he need rice and curry for 3 meals because of Mahendra's social or the family background, social role. Then that social role change Mahendra's psychological determines, that mean feeling, and automatically Mahendra's physical characteristic or the physical character or the physical appearance change because of the social and psychological determinants. Then, my dear student, we can say these are determinants of personality. We can't divide we can't take some the margin. Only the physical characteristic determines or the biological determines change personality. Only change personality. Or the social determinants only change personality. But this 5 concept or the 5 determinants have a effect sometimes individually, like the OB, sometimes individually, sometimes group wise, sometimes 5 concept altogether change Mahendra's personality. Then, my dear student, when we study, we have to study these 3 or the 5 topic one by or the separate concept. That means concept wise separately we have to study what is the meaning of biological characteristic, what is the social determinants, what is the psychological determinants, what is the intellectual criteria and other determinants. But it's like a chain, sometime individual. Then, my dear student, you have an idea. This determines of personality. We can divide the subject wise or topic wise, but it has, when we are take out or when we check its outcome, that mean a personality concept, sometimes all together, sometimes one topic effect to change or the effect to force that person, that mean Mahendra's personality or the behavior style or the person style. Can you understand, my dear student? Personality. Now, take a time to watch video. Then you have another and a more idea about personality. But I think I need a, sorry, then I have to erase this before I change this one. Few minutes need, my dear student. Right, thank you. Okay. I need a few minutes to start to open my point. I think the 9th one or the 8th one. Sorry, you don't know what is the meaning of the 9th one and 8th one. Yeah, okay, got it. Right. Now, just you have to take idea about what is the definition of personality and meaning of personality. Okay. First, we have to take idea about what is the meaning. Right. I think only 2 minutes. Within 2 minutes, you can take idea about this.
The personality is a complex combination of characteristics or qualities that form an individual's unique character. This is the aspect of the ego presented to society. The ego's characteristic patterns of thought, feeling, and behavior are developed and reinforced through childhood and adolescence, becoming habitual, reactive programs. The personality is influenced and developed in direct relation to one's upbringing and childhood influences. If one is supported, nurtured, and loved as a child, This may result in a very different personality than a child who is abused, mistreated, and traumatized. The development of the personality is typically beyond conscious choice or volition. The personality is a consequence of causes and conditions and circumstance. It is an intricate system of learned responses. Whether one is extroverted, introverted, agreeable, open, honest, patient, forgiving, or spiteful, angry, mean, dishonest, and resentful, will depend on a great many factors, including karma and one's prevailing level of consciousness. One's temperament, attitudes, thoughts, beliefs, behavior, and character are all products of the ego's mental mindset. This is the conventional and merely designated I, the lower self, the personal, conceptual mind. To identify with the personality and the thinking mind is a limitation. Reality has no name. The origin of emotional sickness lies in the belief that people are their personalities. Spiritual work and understanding leads to the realization that one is not the thinking mind. One is the pristine awareness beyond. Raise your level of consciousness and raise the world.
Okay, I think this video is a bit of, I think not so working well. Okay, then I stop share. I think you have the basic idea about that, the personality. Then I have another one, personality. No, that's one. Personals, the visual characteristic, innovative, the narratives, personality, understand the personality meaning of the definition. After 1 minute, I will check it and I will give you that the real one. I think is it okay?
Personality is a complex combination.
Yeah, okay. I think this video is okay. Sorry for the first one. Okay, 1 minute because it has some the not working well. Sorry for that. I will give you this one, the nice one.
The personality is a complex combination of characteristics or qualities that form an individual's unique character. This is the aspect of the ego presented to society. The ego's characteristic patterns of thought, feeling, and behavior are developed and reinforced through childhood and adolescence, becoming habitual, reactive programs. The personality is influenced and developed in direct relation to one's upbringing
I think
and
same
childhood
situation here. I think
influences.
that's enough to not necessary to spend more time to that. Then I give you the another one quickly. That the describe the characteristic and personality. Describe your character and personality. Okay. Then only that I will check because is it a need or not?
Describe your character and personality. If you're nice and friendly to other people, you're warm, kind, pleasant, sweet, and good-natured.
But this concept or this video try to explain, my dear student, like the generally our day-to-day life concepts. Okay, not like that personality, a subject wise, the topic or the or any like that subject wise definitions. But it has end of this video, it has some the definitions or the glossary words. But keep it your mind that simply you can understand now that personality. What is a personality? You know, that a kind heart and the very good, uh, pleasant appearance, and that mean the attractive behavior, like that. Then, but this I told you that first day, my dear student, this all OB subject content or the subject topic, you know that practically you have a experience and you have a knowledge. But point is, what you want to know and how you keep it, how you learn, are the two questions. How you learn it and how you take out from subject wise. That means a highlight. The thing is that every concept you know, sometimes better than me, but you have to frame it. This concept topic, what I know, the experience, that things are totally okay or the totally in our organization behavior subject frame. Earlier, day-to-day life, I done several times this type of case like that, our the day-to-day life word. I done several times this case. But earlier you don't know that cases or the case studies or whatever, that all topic or concept under the organization behavior, right? I now give you this video, then you can understand that earlier I know this concept, and as well as I know this concept are all in under the personality topic. But today I got the point that this personality topic we have to study, and I have to study under the organizational behavior subject. Right. Here the video.
If you're nice and friendly to other people, you're warm, kind, pleasant, sweet, and good-natured. And if you're not, you're cold, unkind, unpleasant, horrible, unfriendly.
Okay, some video have some problem. I think I stopped sharing and try to open it the different video format. I think then it's okay. I will check it. One minute more, my dear student. Yes.
Describe your character and personality. Cold, unkind, unpleasant.
1 minute more, my dear student. I'll quickly check and show you. No, it has some problem, my dear student. Sorry for that. Right, I check it same one in another one.
Describe your character and personality.
1 minute more, my dear student.
If you're nice and friendly to other people, you're warm, kind, pleasant, sweet, and good-natured. And if you're not, you're cold, unkind, unpleasant, horrible, unfriendly.
No, that video has some problem. Right. Okay, then I will move to our main topic. Okay. 1 minute more. Physical determines of personality. I think now not the big problem or the big subject contents or the difficult subject contents not in this topic. Easily you can understand. But the point is, you have to think how first you have to think about who I am, what type of personality I have. Then, when you are in a manager position or the CEO position, you can understand, you can evaluate, you can read, or you can measure, or you can monitor other people. That mean your subordinators or your group people or the team members or the project members. You can understand their what type of personality they have. First, you have to take idea about what type of personality I have. That means who am I? Right.
Physical determinants of personality. Biological characteristics are the most prominent parameter that reflects various factors of one's personality. Being the essential determinant of personality, it includes many other factors that bring different insights about a person. Some important components under physical criteria of personality are hereditary, characteristics that can be determined from the moment of conception are usually passed down through generations. Sex, physical height, temperament, muscle composition, facial features, height, etc. are usually traits that one inherits from one's parents. Thus, through the genetic approach, it becomes clear that the ultimate explanation of personality lies in genes located on chromosomes. Physical characteristics. Physical appearance is among the essential criteria of personality. How someone looks physically plays an important role in how they are perceived by others. Whether one is short, tall, thin, fat, black, or white, one obviously makes an impression on others, and this has an impact on one's self-concept. Physical characteristics include, but are not limited to, height, skin tone, weight, hair color, and beauty. Psychological determinants of
Right. I think before I explain this, I want to use my main that the point. 1 minute. 1 second, my dear student. I want to open that the slide and I want to give you some. Wait 1 minute. Yeah, the one right here. Right. Physical determinants of personality. All right. Copy. 1 minute more, my dear student. I think not any big trouble. Quickly, I will show you. Now we have the determinants of personality. Then we have one video from the point here. I will give you, and 1 minute minus. I will check. I have to check it and quickly. I will.
Last Friday, I used AI to help me write an essay. It literally saved me hours. And
और ये क्या है, ये कुछ ना कुछ फैक्टर्स पे डिपेंड करते हैं, तो जो फैक्टर्स पे डिपेंड करती है वही चीज डिटरमिनेंट्स का.
Yeah, I think this one is not to the real one. Sorry, my dear student. Yeah, the copy of thing. I think give me a few minutes, my dear student. One minute more. Right.
An individual's personality isn't determined by one single factor.
Right, I will give you this point. All right, 1 minute more. Sorry. Here the video.
Factor. Instead, it's the result of a combination of multiple complex and interlinked aspects of their existence. These aspects or factors are called the determinants of a person's personality. Different experts have classified psychological determinants differently into a wide variety of categories, but for the purpose of understanding, we'll stick to 4 broad categories. Today, we're going to take a look at what these factors are and how they come together to shape a person. Make sure to watch till the end so you don't miss anything.
Think about this.
Without further ado, let's dive right in. Number 1, biological determinants. Biological determinants, as their name suggests, include all the factors that contribute to a person's psyche and are biological in nature. These are further divided into A. Hereditary factors. These include all the factors which are passed on to a person at conception, such as their physical appearance, energy level, and temperament. Basically, their genetic structure. This approach to personality development considers an individual's personality the result of their molecular and genetic composition. It's backed by a lot of experts since it's widely accepted that physical appearance, a result of genetics, is a big contributor to how a person is treated, and therefore what their personality is like. According to Paul H. Musson, a child's physical characteristics may be related to his approach to the social environment, to the expectancies of others, and to their reactions to him. These in turn
One minute, I will show you again. Quickly, don't worry, I will quickly join with you.
B. The brain. The brain is the single biggest biological contributor to one's personality, and electrical stimulation has proved time and time again how even a small change in the electrochemical activity of the brain can affect a person's mood and, as a result, their personality. The brain is also home to a bunch of different hormones that affect a person's behavior, making it an undeniably major factor in personality determination. Different arrangements of neurons and neurotransmitters mean different memories, and therefore different emotional responses to different situations. This multifaceted way of affecting personality makes the brain just that much important when it comes to shaping a person. Number 2, family and social factors. Family has a significant impact on personality development.
Right.
The early environment
I will
provided to a
stop
person.
that and I move our lesson.
At home is what
We can find it the later. Here the 1 minute, my dear student. Okay, now the physical determinants of personality, physical characteristic. Two the slides, two topics, but the same concept. Okay. Then, my dear student, first you have to think about this is that like the topic wise and in a slide. This type of concept are some the parents and a genetic approach or the highest, that physical highest, that generation, sex, temperament, muscles, compositions, and facial features, height, like that. But now you have a problem, sir. The problem in question. Sir, how this physical appearance or the physical determinants of personality or the physical topics or the physical the things, how to change the any one personality? Here the question. How it's changed the anyone? It's like the physical thing, no? Now it's like the psychology or the brain one or the brain concept. The psychological determinants of personality we can believe, and brain process, and it has some effect to the personality. It is like a psychological factor, psychological determinants. But the physical or the concept or the physical topic, like the sex, physical height, muscles, well, like the well-built muscles, and like the lean and scanty the body, how to affect the personality. I give you some the small example. Some weakness and like the active personality character, and like the lazy the behavior. Just imagine that the lazy behavior is that one also. Now another the character or the personality. Now when your body is a very flexible, okay, your body can move here and there like the sport, like that the like enough weight to enough height, enough margin, real margin to real, like the real weight to real height. That means we are calling that not MBT, that we are calling that MBI. Okay, then correct MBI. Then, my dear student, that sex life, the day-to-day life, and the day-to-day activities, and the physical, real, handsome character appearance. Under this, the physical determinants of personality. So very attractive, though, as well as very active person. Like when I have some the workshop or any event, he's a very he's a very the effective or the attractive or the active person in that event or this event, because I think he's a very handsome guy, because he's a very active person, handsome guy, like that. That two word create some point to that personality. Can you understand, my dear student? is the totally different that physical or the biological character, biological appearance to the personality. But when he or she has the real margin in the MB, the BMI, as well as that person really and really the behavior is very active. Then others mention, others commenting on the behavior. So that person, that lady, very active lady, but like that, very, very good looking. Okay, nice looking as well as the active lady. Then some ladies are very active, but the physical appearance not real good. That means like a busy, but not really active. For only that work, only their own purposes, they behave actively. I will give you some example. Sometimes your family members own work, you have to engage with that as a active participation or the active member because of your family work. But at that time, your physical or the biological the appearance, you neglect. Automatically, you neglect because of you have to think, this is my own work. I have to do something better than others. But when you have a same work in your close friend, but you are not so active with because of not the physical connections or the physical the point or the physical effect to that event, because you thought it's a very, very, very the big work for me because my body is very heavy, or I can't control, I can't spend more time with the work, that type of work like that. That means I told you that it is not a physical effect, but I told you that earlier that lady or boy or the girl or the man, imagine this is my own work. That is the reason I do this work bottom of my heart. Sometimes same situation means that a close friend, he or the she machine, when I start this work, it is a very heavy work to me. Same situation for their own work, that family work. But that in a purposely, he or she doing that work like the active member, active, like an active person. But physically, he or she had a problem while he or she doing that work. But mentally, he ready to do that. But that close friend work, physically and mentally both, she or he not engage or not start that work or not work as an active member or the active participant. Then I told you, my dear student, that a physical one engage with the psychology one, or the psychology one engage the physical one. Then this personality topic, you know that this determines engage each and every one. Then, my dear student, that in the sex life, sometimes that the fat woman never happy to do any good physical connection with husband, because it's a very difficult, you know, that is as a flexible body, it's need to the flexible body. Then that she don't have that type of the physical we are calling flexible skill, or the changes, or the work, while that mean a work with the physical connection time, that mean a intercourse time. Then the lady imagine, when I start this work, it's a very, very bad and effect case to me. Bad, and it's a very, very, very heavy work. Heavy work mean it's difficult to do it because of physical structure. Then, my dear student, now that it's engaged with the step by step. Okay. Then these are the the heavy, not heavy, that like a big belly or the fat woman don't need, or they don't want to do the physically connection with her own husband, because it's a very difficult work, like a difficult exercise, like that. Then the next step is that behavior create some changes in her own personality. Anger, jealous, and the automatically disturb others, because when he can't do it something freely and happily, then automatically there's a Sigmund Freud concept. Automatically, that person, that mean not, we are calling unconsciously, the behavior change, personality change. He or she don't know these unconscious changes. Sometimes hormone changes, sometimes that they are thinking patterns or the style changings because of the physical problem. Then the earlier you got the point, like a kind heart, like a caring, empathy, and various concepts. But the all concept control through this physical determinant topics. Imagine, my dear student, now the person who have some big belly, like some muscles in a wrong position, wrong development in a wrong place. Then he or she want to do some work, it has a barrier. Okay. Then imagine, my dear student, then the automatically other people mention you can't do it with this body. 1, 2, 3. Then he or she, that means the me or you, I have to decide. That means I decide. That means I decide. Yes, I can't do that work or this work with this body, with these muscles, big muscles. 3 people mention and give some the opinion or ideas. You can't do this work because of your body. Then then my side, I am thinking, yes, they are okay. I can't do this work with this type of body. Okay. Then now this is a physical, real appearance, dialogue, and discussion. But in the other hand, that may your personality, you're a bit of lazy. Okay, you are not active. You are not active person. You don't have an interest in it. That point is engaged with personality topics. Now, you can understand, my dear student, this physical determinant of personality. The biological one also, same biological characteristic, our next topic. That one also, here the point I will give you the time to listen, my dear student, here.
Physical characteristics. Physical appearance is among the essential criteria of personality. How someone looks physically plays an important role in how they are perceived by others. Whether one is short, tall, thin, fat, black, or white, one obviously makes an impression on others, and this has an impact on one's self-concept. Physical characteristics include, but are not limited to, height, skin tone, weight, hair color, and beauty. Psychological determinants of personality.
We have to discuss a bit of that earlier one, my dear student. Then, my dear student, that the first slide, we had some idea about that physical determinants of personality. The same topic, the same concept, in which the physical appearance. It has some the point or the space to change personality. Dear student, now imagine that a looking beauty, good looking girl front of you. But when you are not, or when you are trying to compare in your mind, you compare it with your mind, the beauty girl and you. Then that means, what I want to say, you compare that girl is a good for me, but is a not okay to me, not match. What's the reason? Then now you know that good looking, beautiful lady in front of you. Now you are in a mind, that means an intrapersonal communication point. You try to talk with yourself and compare your both physical appearance. Then you decide, this girl good for me, but I know this girl are not to say okay to my request. Now you have to time to think, my dear student. You know that I will explain it later. Then the comparing concept. Your own mind mention, I don't have a enough qualification like that. Enough qualification mean, my dear student, you don't have enough personality to cover or control or match or the compare with that girl. Okay, that's the reason, my dear student, the many nice looking girl with the rich people or the some not good looking guys, because of they have their 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 needs, and their needs different of others in other side. Okay, sometimes good looking girls need the different personality characters. They never believe the physical appearance. They need fulfill or the luxury basic need people. The what mean the luxury basic need people mean, you know that our basic need, when person who have a basic need luxury level, then are the good looking beautiful girls very happy to say okay to that people, because of not a physical appearance. Sometimes I told you that the social background, the first one, that is social role. Then, my dear student, keep it to your mind, this all physical characteristic or the physical determinants of personality, that our topic is all concept have some effect to personality. Weight, hair, color, beauty, skin tone, height, that mean a voice also. Okay, the tone, short, tall, thin, fat, black, white, everything. It has some like sometimes it's like the hiding concept of personality. Sometimes other people can't understand why this girl or boy okay to this person or the girl. Sometimes step by step you have to find that route. Sometimes only one thing in their the physical, but sometimes they don't know what type of the real physical appearance. We have only the appearance sides only know. We don't know what happened, what he or she done. But that appearance creates some personality, like the effect to personality, right? Now, my dear student, today we have to think about what we finish to, like a summary. Okay, I think we finish our topic, the introduction OB, like the introduction of OB. one by one, and we discuss it, the other subject. What are the other subjects which engage with OB? Then I think you know, my dear students, sociology, psychology, social psychology, anthropology, political science, education, more. Then we take idea about some definitions. First day, that introduction level, we take some idea about the introduction of OB. Finally, we collect or the got idea about the definition. First one is a robbing, second one is a ramen, and the final one, 2004, the new the definition. I told you, my dear student, you have to compare the year 1998, 1999, 1990, sorry, 2004. I will highlight at some point. I think you remember, my dear student. First one is the individual, group, and the organizational investigation. Everyone can see it's like the organization behavior. Second one, that like the I think that the Raman and Arthur's definition, the Robinson first one. Then it's mentioned, or that definition clearly highlighted organization behavior, that means OB in under the social science subject. Then it has some prediction using social science. That means it has some predict in a social science, like a social science. That means OB subject can predict. That means organization behavior. Subject mean the person who predict something in a future, like the changes. We can study that type of changes and prediction, that we call organization behavior. Finally, that point again change. That again change mean social science topic change, multidisciplinary subject engage with organization behavior. But systematically, this all subject systematically study under the organization behavior. It has some effect to individual, group, and institute. That means organization. Under three concept in an organization behavior, that concept is study multidisciplinary subject areas. That the another final, not another final, that is the final definition. Then, my dear student, after that, we had some like a summary slide. That summary slide really mentioned two special points. Study of people study of people behavior, and study of organization behavior. Then organization, any organization, people, that mean a client or the officers or the group or the whole organization. People behavior, when we study, we call organization behavior. People behavior, organization behavior. People who are in an organization, when we study or the monitor or the study or the investigate that people behavior, individual, group, or the organizational wise, that we call, that we can say it is an organization behavior. Right. Then, my dear student, after that we start this new topic, personality topic. I think not necessary to give some small summary. First, we try to understand what are the factors that we learn, what are the determinants of personality. First one is a biological, second one social, other one psychology, another one is the other conflict of other areas. Then, my dear student, today I stop today's lesson. I wish you bright future, my all and every student, and I wish you bright future and good night to all of you.